Wait, did we all collectively forget that we are supposed to be human beings who make mistakes and are often going to make mistakes? Gosh, this is such a pressure. What if I can never play this instrument right? Did I invested in it too far early? Wait, let's just give this card some edgy text of some kind. Wait, did I do something wrong? Why is this flower looks so papery like? It almost looks like some sort of mushroom. What is the point in starting this YouTube channel? I don't have any good ideas at all, or perfect ideas for that matter. Wait, is this camera setting okay? Gosh, maybe I should speak something. I'm staring at this camera for far too long. Words are just not forming in my head. Is the lighting good? I hope my hair is not all messed up. It's literally 45 degrees outside. I guess I should write and perfect this script more, because I could never let them see any imperfections with all judgments coming my way. Oh goodness. Am I better at anything in life? Enters anxiety, exits confidence.
So these are some of the examples of how perfectionism come into a life, and it just makes us a little bit crazy. What I observed within my own self was when perfectionism started to mess with my mind. But first of all, let's see some pros of perfectionism. Perfectionism, let's see this for example. What happened is that I was in high school. I was in a group of people who were overachievers, and in my mind they do everything perfectly. They had good grades, so I guess yes, maybe they are doing something perfect with their lives. That's why they can get this much marks. Like, I was the only person who was the minimum scorer out of all of our friends. So what happened is I tried to question myself, is what am I doing by which I cannot get this much of marks, and all of my peers were getting it. So when I figured what is going on, I tried to talk to my friends about what they do extra about achieving good marks in that certain subject. So here's what they said. They said, we read the books and we tried to just learn it. We tried to see what kind of questions are going to come, and based on that we just write the answers. I was like, okay, so don't you just try to understand the concept? They said, no, because it's not necessary to clear the exam. What's necessary is just to drink the whole book and not learn the concept. So I was like, I was like, are you sure this is the way we should be getting our education? I mean, it's all about learning. Why does our learning is situated only to books? And they said, well, for going to college, you need to drink books. Otherwise, what is the point in having a secondary education? And I thought it was about learning. I thought it was about discovering what you like in life and then doing that. And they said, no, we have already decided what kind of profession we want to choose. And other than that, I don't think we're going to do anything else. Well, of course, it's their opinion, and they are good people. Because here's what my psyche was. One day before exam, I would just drop it. I would be like, okay यार, इतना तो कर लिया है, इतने से ही पढ़ के एग्जाम दे आते हैं, पूरी बुक चाट के क्या करूँगी? And then each time before a night before exam, I would just stop doing anything. I would not do anything, and I would be like, let's see what happens tomorrow. In one day, I cannot actually retain anything, which some of my friends proved it to be wrong. They would study a night before for each exam, and I would be like, wow, that's a very perfect technique. But how do they achieve that? How do they retain that information for afterwards? I mean, we are in a learning atmosphere. We should be learning to apply these things in our lives, not just learning to give exams. In my head, I was like, well, I give up. Let's see what happens tomorrow. So that's what happened. The biggest con of perfectionism is when you get something very less from expectations, you go into spiral mode of being mad, sad, depression, anxiety is through the roof. So perfectionism can actually break you as a person more it makes you. And I learned this through the series of events that have happened in my life and what I learned from them. So that is the biggest con in perfectionism. So I figured I should just drop the idea of being perfect altogether. Through high school, college, and a work life, I understand how important it was to learn things at that point. So what happened in college was a whole different story. I was a total perfectionist person. I was in that stage where I would say, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to prove them wrong and be a perfectionist. So that got to my head, and it led me to question everything that I was doing in my life, and it led me to not enjoy myself college as much as I would like to. So perfectionism can have both pros and cons. There are it actually has not more benefits than it has problems. So what happened in college is that when I first started it felt like a race. It felt like a race where everybody was dying to get into the first position and getting some sort of prize. And I knew that better than anyone, I think, because I went through these phases in college where everybody was not talking about ideas. They were talking about what is the next degree they're going to propose. And I was talking about, so what do you think about this? So what do you think about this incident that happened? And everybody would say pro and con of perfectionism is that you go an extra mile for doing something and doing something that you care about. And in parallel to that, the con is you cannot live up to people's expectations, so you self-doubt and define your worth as worthless because you can't get a single task done because you have taken too much on your plate than you can give out as a result. Another pro and con, which is in parallel of perfectionism, is that you become a person who everybody else look up to, and the person who has everything and person who has their life together. But in parallel to that, the con is when people look and when you are just busy busting your ass each day to live up to an impossible set of standards. So I often used to think there are three boxes of doing things which will be visible here, which is failure, good enough, and success. But in your vocabulary, a person who is perfect and try to do things perfectly, they don't have this block in their head. They don't think good enough is something that should be included in their dictionary. So a good enough is out of that. They just have two things, failure and success. There's nothing in between. So they just try to undermine their success and their value as a human being into the terms of two things, failure and success, and nothing else. So that kind of things can lead to judging yourself your entire life, and that is no way to live. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have experienced and if you have tried to perfect things in your life which now you regret and think there is also a third option, please let me know in the comment section below and we will chat about it. I will see you in my next video.